OT, this is Akua Ishak, Commissioner of Cultural Affairs for the Maipurawa Nation, and I'm here to present an update from Prime Minister Prince Saramiel and Prime Minister Tushkaru Makshila of the Maipurawa Nation. We are presenting the American Aborigine Identity Correction Initiative, our goals, autonomy and self-governance, separation and proper recognition. We are petitioning each state to initiate an enumeration reassessment of American Aborigine inhabitants of the state. The purpose is to assess the number of misclassified American Aborigines in each state, identify people whose birth records reflect different classification from their predecessors, ensure freedom of our people, and to live under proper identity with the correct identification. This initiative...
Yeah, so you see what's going on? They're faking their tribes. These are hippies, yo. These are hippies that don't want to be African American anymore. They wear copper and lick crystals and walk barefoot in the woods and put turkey feathers in their hair. These people are not Aboriginal or Indian. They look like mulattoes. They probably have European ancestry and no native ancestry. They claim they got all these documents, but if they had all these documents, wouldn't they be part of the tribe? They claim that they got kicked out of the tribe because they were black, when there's black people in every single tribe. They claim that they were reclassified too, but that only happened to 200 people in Virginia, and it never happened to the Cherokee or the Choctaw or the Chickasaw or the Blackfoot or the tribes they claim. The 200 that got reclassified were Afro-Indigenous. It was during the one-drop rule era. It didn't matter how much native you had. If you had one drop of African blood, you had to be classified as colored or Negro. So that's what happened with that. It only happened in 200 Afro-Indigenous people. But here's the thing. People are trying to say that they got all this proof that they're the original Indians, but when it comes down to it, they just show us pictures of dark-skinned Native Americans in Photoshop and bad lighting pictures. Like, they'll show Olmec heads but claim Blackfoot and live in the South. The Blackfoot were never from the South. The Olmec were in Mexico. They claim Cherokee and Choctaw, but there's 3 different Cherokee tribes, and you could be less than 1% and still be a card-carrying tribal member. They claim 5 civilized tribes, right? That their grandparents were full-blooded, but when we see pictures of their grandparents, they're mulattoes or black people. Here's the thing, those tribes adopted freed African slaves into those tribes because they also adopted white people, and it was against the law for a native to own property. So white people would own land for the tribe. They would speak for the tribe because they could speak English and they could get in areas other natives couldn't. They would also own slaves. So that's why you got so many black people that have ties to the 5 civilized tribes: Cherokee, Choctaw, Chickasaw, Seminole, and Creek. But these weird ass tribes, like I just showed you, that keep popping up, they're learning this from other fake ass tribes that are always in the process of getting recognized and state recognized and making up new words or new terminology and all that for Aboriginal Americans and indigenous mound builders, and they spoke Hebrew and Egypt's in America. It's a cult. That's what these groups are. They're cults. They're very anti-native. They claim native, but they'd say the natives are Siberians. That would mean they're Siberian too, right? So I think it's pretty funny. We're watching, it's actually not funny though. It's very sad to watch someone absolutely hate where they come from, and they're so traumatized that they want to be us. Let me tell you guys that grass ain't greener on the other side just because you think you could claim to be indigenous. We are the most murdered, the most missing. We're at the bottom of every social and economic health indicator in this country. The grass definitely ain't greener. So I don't know what these people's real intentions are. I have a feeling that these people are just trying to steal our stuff like how the white people did, right? So they're going to team up with the white people in the future against us and the Mexicans, the real indigenous Americans. This is just the beginning of something crazy. And I hope you guys can start to realize that. And if you believe that Black Americans are indigenous to America, shame on you. You're gullible and you're not that smart, to be honest. You fell for the bait. It's a psyop, it's a distraction to keep us divided. Nobody ever told you guys you were Blackfoot Cherokee mound builder. I think you guys are just telling yourselves this and making it all up because there's no scientific evidence or proof. They don't find your bones past the 1650s or outside the 13 colonies. You only speak English or no indigenous language. You speak English because the English bought you off of your own people in West Africa. Take a DNA test and you could find out if you're actually native. And then, if you actually really think you're indigenous, go to the BIA and get a certificate of Indian blood. And if you have all these records, it should be no problem for you. So what are you waiting for? Stop making up fake tribes and all that. They have to fake tribes. Fake it till you make it, right? But they have to fake tribes because they can't get in the real tribes. They can't get in the real tribes because they're pretendians and they're not actually indigenous.